here's some news that would have been helpful to Michael 2 years ago. Dr. Fauci says the United States is out of the COVID-19 pandemic phase. He was being interviewed on PBS NewsHour Tuesday. Let's just have him tell us what's going on.
We are certainly right now in this country out of the pandemic phase. Namely, we don't have 900,000 new infections a day and tens and tens and tens of thousands of hospitalizations and thousands of deaths. We are at a low level right now. So if you're saying, are we out of the pandemic phase in this country? We are. What we hope to do, I don't believe, and I've spoken about this widely, we're not going to eradicate this virus. If we can keep that level very low and intermittently vaccinate people, and I don't know how often that would have to be, Judy, that might be every year, that might be longer, in order to keep that level low. But right now, we are not in the pandemic phase in this country.
Yeah, but here's the problem. We are not doing jack shit. We're going to keep this low because what we're going to do, we need 2 months of masking. We take the 2 months of masking. It's like me fucking standing in front of a well before we throw a witch in and go, all right, people, here's what we're going to do. Now, we want her to float, and here's what we're going to do to try to get her to float. Obviously, there's a water displacement issue. She's not as buoyant as she could be. You don't control shit. No one has ever controlled shit. Your 6 foot, your stupid spots in the elevator and the escalator and the step behind and the wear fucking mask and the wipe everything down with Purell and put the fucking gloves on before you go to Trader Joe's and mask up at the airport and mask up on the airplane. You guys don't do shit. It just took its course. You couldn't control jack fucking shit. So stop telling about what we're doing. We're not doing anything. We're sitting around hoping we get it and it doesn't hit us too hard.
Well, that's the problem. I think the biggest problem is our government has a problem saying we don't know what's going on. Like, I would much rather a doctor come on and go, look, we don't know what's going on, but this is what we do know, so let's try to make this work. And
so your doctor said to you?
Right.
Yeah, like my doctor was literally like, I don't know what's going on, so we got to try everything. And I think when people are honest, you're more forgiving.
Sure.
But if you're like, this is what's happening, and then you find out that's not what's happening, then you're like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, you just
everybody
lied to
follow me.
Everybody follow, but we shouldn't have followed you. I would rather a doctor come out and go, hey, it looks like this is happening, but I don't know for sure. We're doing more research to find out. It seems honesty is so easy, but it's really not for some reason.
I would have accepted, look, you're not going to avoid this like you're going to avoid a train on the train tracks. You know, there's a way to avoid parking your pickup truck on train tracks.
In many ways.
It is not that. It's everywhere. It's ubiquitous. And it's so small that it'll get through any mask and all the fucking rubbing everything down with the sanitizer and you holding your fucking shirt up over your nose before you walk out of the store or into the store. Nothing. It's all window dressing. It's not going to do anything. Now, what you can do is lose 20 fucking pounds, clean up your diet, and start hydrating and stop drinking so much.
You're about to.
I know, it's true.
Right. That's what you can do.
Right. Well, I have a Disney story that has nothing to do with this, but Saudi Arabia says it's not banning the new Marvel movie, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, but it would like Disney to edit out a very brief homosexual reference. Disney says no. The head of Saudi Arabia's Cinema Classification Board, Nawaf Azlaban, says their issue is that there's this barely 12 seconds from the film in which a superhero makes a reference to her two moms. And Azlaban explains, being in the Middle East, very tough to pass something like this. We sent it to the distributor, and the distributor sent it to Disney, and Disney told us
you can't have two moms in the Middle East because, like, who's going to the supermarket? You got to be a company.
Escorted.
Who's going to drive the car?
That's right.
Can't have two of you.
No, you're absolutely right. It makes no sense. They wouldn't be able to wrap their heads around it.
That's right.
Yeah. And this has happened before. Marvel's The Eternals was banned across the Middle East because of Fastos. He was depicted to be gay, but I don't know anything about Marvel movies.
I was going to say they spared them on The Eternals.
Not so good?
I didn't like it as much as
Okay.
a lot of people.
Be a sweet gig, though, to be the guy in the Middle East who's in charge of content review. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Disney, send me your premium format movie 2 months early.
I'll let you know.
Everything's first run.
Yeah.
Right. You probably have like a couple lieutenants. Like, Rob, come in here.
Yeah.
Is that gay? I know he just made a basket, but he did tap him on the ass. That's what a gay guy would do?
Why are you always asking me to come in? Why not Dave?
I've never met your wife. You married?
Oh, yeah, she's in Canada.
Oh, Canada.
On a work visa.
You don't have kids?
No, either with her in Canada.
When would you get the Miata?
It was my father's. He passed away.
I drive a Suburban.
Yeah, it's a beast of a vehicle. The Miata, it maneuvers well.
I remember the other day you couldn't come in.
Yeah.
You didn't say you were sick.
I did.
You said you were taking a me day. And you said you were going to drink a smart cocktail at home.
No. I was going to have a cocktail of drugs to cure whatever was ailing me.
All right.
I think you misunderstood.
All right. Anyway, that dude said to the other dude that he missed him. Is that gay talk?
Again, it doesn't seem any gayer than saying I love dudes. Fuck.
Why don't you ask your boyfriend if it's gay or not? You're out of here. Go to the roof.
Go to the roof.
Oh yeah,
that's what they do.
That's how we handle them.
Yeah.
Oh man,
meet you on the roof.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not smoking pot this time.
It's like okay. We'll go to
I know what
the
happens
roof.
on the roof.
So yeah, they'll have to struggle with that. Okay, so a couple new things from the Depp-Heard case because I just have so many thoughts on it. But I wanted to. It was a great question you asked yesterday.
Michael, does this make you wish you were back in entertainment reporting?
Oh my! No, it's just so crazy how toxic this relationship is, isn't it?
And that is why, like, if it was
Like, why wouldn't you get out? Why wouldn't you be like, yo, this is not good for me or you, so I'm gone?
Because when you're that invested in somebody with borderline personality, it's not that easy to go.
It is. Just fucking go.
Yeah.
Wait,
sorry.
Which one of them should have won? Both?
Johnny.
Or both?
Johnny and her.
And her.
I mean, clearly, yeah, they're not good together. But I did want to answer your question why it's in Virginia, because it's actually kind of like it took a little research. It's not an easy answer. So let me answer that first. So first of all, Depp is allowed to even do it in Virginia at all because Amber's article about being a victim of domestic abuse was uploaded to the Washington Post in Virginia. So Johnny Depp got to file his defamation lawsuit there. But then I was like, that doesn't answer anything. Why is that so important to him? Why not do it here? So this is why. Depp is also believed to have filed the lawsuit, and this is from hitc.com, lawsuit in Virginia due to the state's looser SLAPP laws, SLAPP. A SLAPP, SLAPP, which stands for Strategic Lawsuits Against Public Participation, is a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit filed against an individual to essentially silence them. Now, California, lots of anti-SLAPP laws. So it wouldn't be as friendly of a place for him to take it to court. Amber wanted it here, but they finally did have it allowed to be in Virginia where those laws are much looser. So he has more of a chance of winning something like that.
Yeah, it's like when we were getting sued by patent trolls and wanted to do it out of Texas because it's more hospitable for them over there.
Exactly. So I wanted to make sure that got answered. But, there's all these, we're now getting into a lot of stuff about, possible personality disorders and the psychologist.
From both of them or just one?
Well, I think they focus more on the alcoholism for Johnny.
Yeah.
Well, I'm reading here that Michael was the Hollywood expert on Nancy Grace.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
Dude.
I would love to hear what you have to say about Nancy.
Nancy got so angry at me. This is when Chris Brown hit Rihanna. And this is when allegedly. They first put me on. This is right after it happened. And Nancy was like, so what do you think about
Wait, go ahead, Nancy.
So what do you think about Chris Brown treating Rihanna like his own personal punching bag, Michael Yo?
Well, if it's true, I think it's horrible. You shouldn't slap a woman. And then she goes, oh, so you're defending him? You're saying it's not true? I go, no, we just don't know.
You're the lawyer.
I can't have people on the show, like on TV, like I can't have people on the show that defends a woman beater.
I can't have people on my show defending some man punching Rihanna, Mrs. Umbrella, Ella A in the face. What is wrong with you, Michael Yo?
But Nancy, let's wait till all the facts come in.
I have all the facts I need. He had a big old smile on on his face, and she had an eye that was swollen like a tennis ball.
Yeah, but we don't know how she got that.
I know how she got it. Michael, stop playing stupid, defending the man. That's what Michael's famous for. If it's a boy, gotta be in the boys' club. Michael, I think you can see yourself out.
And that's literally how it went.
Wow.
Like, they cut me out. Like,
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. She was like, I can't have you on the show if you defend women beaters. And I was like, I don't know all the facts. I can't say it's true or not.
She's a lawyer. She knows that.
That's what she's asking me. I'm just a dude. Literally, they called me an hour before. I'm at home chilling, and then all of a sudden I'm at the CNN building in Hollywood, and she's yelling at me. Like,
That's fabulous.
what is going on? She hated me on that show.
That's
she put me
awesome.
on, like, the first time it didn't go well, and then the second time was Chris Brown, and that's when I was never on the show again. And this is when I wanted to be on those type of shows. You know what I mean? And she was just so bad. Because I was like, Nancy, I don't know. She was like, what do you mean you don't know? I was like, oh, Lord, this woman needs to chill.
Oh, I love that. God, I love the best thing was during the pandemic and lockdown. She had a little screen behind her and her hair and her makeup. But if you panned out, she did one behind the scenes. She's sitting on the floor with her laptop on a chair, and that's her studio. It was fabulous.
Oh, really?
Oh, I follow her personal life very closely. She has twins, very religious. They do a lot of like family, like cross country drives. I think one of them's a Boy Scout.
Just remember, a lot of religious people are the worst people.
The more you know.
The more you know.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You're not going to get an argument from me.
Okay.
Okay, so I just want to just tie this up in a little bow. So the psychologist for Johnny's defense said Amber Heard suffers from borderline personality disorder, and maybe a little histrionics. That's Dr. Shannon Curry. She's a licensed clinical psychologist. She interviewed Amber for like 12 hours, and she was very cut and dry. She's like, it is. I can't remember her phrasing, but like it's in correlation with other people with this problem. So according to the National Institute of Mental Health, borderline personality disorder is a mental illness that severely impacts a person's ability to regulate their emotions. Histrionic personality disorder is a personality disorder characterized by a pattern of excessive attention-seeking behaviors, usually beginning in early childhood, including inappropriate seduction and an excessive desire for approval. The psychologist also said that Heard had grossly exaggerated her symptoms of PTSD because of her relationship with Depp, and just really undermined the defense team.
Crazy is pretty avoidable. I mean, society has a lot of crazy, and it's kind of avoidable for many. But when crazy finds its way to a super hot chick, then it becomes weaponized.
Yes.
Because then all of a sudden you want to be with crazy, and you'll look the other way with crazy.
But crazy gets crazier.
Yes,
when that
because
happens.
Crazy always wins.
Yes.
You're not going to out crazy a crazy person.
No, you're not.
No. You can't.
Everyone got it today.
Crazy wins.
But that's part of what they said is part of this, disorder, if that's how they're classifying it, is mirroring other people's personality. So you don't know. You just think, oh, I just stepped into a gold mine. This young, hot person likes all the same stuff I like, says all the same kind of stuff I do, and that's part of the disorder.
It's the tortoise and the hare, because at the beginning of the relationship, it's 86% hot, and 14% crazy. But give it time.
Oh
yeah.
One
hotness
shall pass the other.
starts dropping.
It's the slowest teeter-totter.
Yeah, it doesn't, and it's not even them who are dropping. Although you put on a few pounds, you get a little longer in the tooth, but it's really just. Once the person walks into the bathroom after you shit it up, the honeymoon is over, and I worship the ground she walks on thing. But the crazy is never crazy.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's
crazy
coming.
Never sleeps.
It doesn't. It keeps going.
It's like rust. It just no weekends, no holidays off.
Right.
And then at some point the crazy gets even with the hot, and that's decision-making time, and that's when you got to pull the ripcord and get the deploy the parachute at that point.
Because the crazy showed, because when it's 86%, 14%, it shows every once in a while, and you're like, oh, well, that's fine.
You can explain it away.
Yeah, she's hot. It's all good.
Yes.
And then once it catches up.
Well, because there's audio. They play tons of audio, and he's like, they're fighting. He goes, I have to leave. I will come back in a few hours. We're both saying things we don't mean. Like, I need to get out of here. And he's being super calm. And she starts crying and freaking out, going, don't you understand? If you leave, I'm going to die. And if you leave. And he's like, we just need to be apart for a couple hours. I'll be right back. No, look what you're doing to me. And it's just like, what happened here?
Is she currently in a relationship? Because this can't be good if you're sitting home as her boyfriend watching this on TV.
Marketing.
Was she the one that crapped on the bed, shitted on the bed?
Allegedly.
Just shitted on their bed.
And wasn't there a part of in a real article it said like she had a gordita? And
Who amongst us?
Yeah. Well, there's some speculation that the dogs did it, but the dogs were too small.
Yeah.
It
was a real pile.
Fecal matter.
Yeah.
But also one of her friends, possibly German friend, could have done it.
So I was at a restaurant. This is like probably about 12 years ago. So I'm in a restaurant, and this is when Amber Heard was Amber Heard, and like she would just popped off in Hollywood, and all eyes, beautiful.
Right.
If you've never seen her in real life,
I haven't.
Gorgeous, like drop dead gorgeous. So she walks over I'm sitting down with a friend. She walks over to me. I've been staring at, I'm giving her she walks over to me and sits beside me and goes, how are you? And I go, I'm fine. And she goes, we met last night, right? And I was like, no. And she goes, oh, I thought you were the gay guy that won some gay contest. And I was like,
from the Fine Young Cannibals.
And I was like, fuck.
Wow.
Like I thought it was this good looking dude for a second. Then she's like, oh, you're this gay guy I met last night.
Sails.
I know. It was it's such one of those moments where it builds up and you're like, oh.
That's a heartbreaker.
Really? I thought I had a chance, but you just think I'm a gay guy. Which is fine.
She wanted to be your best friend.
You know what? My friend, when she walked away, she said, you should have been gay.
Yeah.
You should have been gay. You should have been like, yes, girl. Yes. I would have been best friends with Amber Heard.
Yeah.
Then she would have shitted on my bed and then it would have been weird.
You'd be a character witness right now. They could use you. It was really funny because I was watching it before I came here, and they were interviewing all the deputies or all the police officers that came to one of these calls. And everyone's kind of falling asleep and super boring. And then this sort of big Hispanic, like kind of young cop dude comes on. He's doing the whole thing from his car. He's on Zoom and he's cracking everybody up. Johnny's laughing. Everybody's laughing. He's like, man, I don't know. Like she kept saying like she thought there was an intruder. The scratches on the door were 4 inches from the ground. That's a dog. What's she talking about? And everyone's laughing. And he's like, and then she asked him like an actual question. Like, do you believe? He's like, man, I don't know. I just want this out of my life. I got my own life. People got their own problems. Why am I still here? It was awesome.
That's great.
It was great. It was really funny.
That's who you should have on the show.
That's your witness.
That's the guy you need right there.
From the car.
From the car.
It was great. It was great. Let's move on to another couple, another power couple, Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. They're taking the Angelina and Billy Bob route and drinking each other's blood for ritual purposes. She makes the claim in a cover story with Glamour UK. She says, it's just a few drops, but yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes. Megan insists that the blood drinking is controlled, where it's, quote, like just to shed a few drops and drink it. He's much more haphazard and hectic and chaotic, where he's willing to just
What'd you do with your tampon, baby? I hope you didn't flush it. Sort of an otter pop, but not.
Well, she said he'll
he's
cut
another
his
neck
chest.
tattoo guys getting
neck.
laid all the time.
Yes, and friends with Pete Davidson.
Oh, yeah.
Cut his chest with a broken glass and then screams, "Take my soul."
What?
Okay, how's that
what
healthy?
Is this?
How's that healthy?
Well, remember when we talked about their engagement ring and it's like she can't get it off because it'll like tear her finger off because it's pronged?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is Michael, your parents been together for 46 years?
48 years.
48 years.
They've never had each other's blood.
They have fucking barbed wire tied around your dad's ball sack and your mom drags him through the yard, or can they just fucking hang out?
Yeah, this doesn't
You know
sound
what
like
I
a
mean?
committed relationship, Michael.
I don't understand these people.
Is it all just self-promotion? I don't know. Is it all just promotional?
Well, like he's really into ayahuasca and stuff, and so maybe that's where he got the idea. I don't know that those two have anything to do with each other.
Here's sort of what I'm saying. We all have stuff we're into. And there's the stuff we're into that we're sort of out and public about, like I support this charity. And then there's whatever box of porn that you happen to enjoy after you've tilted a few and the door's closed and the lights off. You know what I mean? What I'm just saying is that this falls under the heading of that.
You're right.
Why do I need to know all of this about you? You know, he likes playing music. She likes acting. We're good.
I think you're absolutely right. I think when you're in between gigs, maybe this is just a way to keep us having this conversation.
But what ritual are they talking about? They keep saying ritual. That's what I want to know. What ritual is
Well,
this?
that's what I'm saying. I know they like to do like ayahuasca and get super like, you know, go into their own souls and into the multiverse. So maybe that has something to do with it.
None of them ever involve farting.
Not that
I
they've
would
mentioned.
support that.
In what way?
It's like I like to crack one on her head if she falls asleep on the sofa. I'd go like, that's funny. That's
You were
a
like,
cool
that's
dude.
relatable. See?
Yeah.
See?
I relate to that.
Yeah.
Or that's what she likes to fart on him.
Or that. Yeah.
like sexually.
What ends up happening is then at some point you break up and then everyone rolls the scroll on the blood and the discussion and the crimp-on wedding ring and all this shit, and then you look like a double asshole.
True. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
But they don't care.
All right, let's do one more.
Okay, let's find a good one. Well, here, let's talk about porn. Westminster College in Salt Lake City, important to this story, is receiving a little backlash after adding a new course to their curriculum for the upcoming summer semester. The class is called Film 3000 Porn. The description in the course bulletin notes that the elective will discuss the sexualization of race, class, and gender as an experimental radical art form and study hardcore pornography. Not surprisingly, a little bit of protesting. An online petition from local residents argues that pornography is devoid of educational value, has no place in the classroom. I disagree because I took a very similar class at KU. Mm-hmm. And it was so funny because he'd show it would be like gay porn week. And for the man-on-man gay porn, he'd show all these like guys ejaculating and he'd bring his umbrella as like prop comedy. And it was very funny.
That's the ultimate masturbating switch.
Yeah, that's a
class
class I would
porn
skip.
class and there's a week on gay porn.
And lesbian porn.
That doesn't really help.
Step toward the light. I don't know what the minister in the Arab Emirates have to say about that content.
That's true.
But this is in Salt Lake City.
This is in Salt Lake City.
But this is the home of the Mormons.
That's
and
what I'm saying.
The Mormon church is right there. I mean, that's their moneymaker out there. Of course
That's
they're gonna get upset about that.
Well, and didn't we a million years ago? Didn't we do a story about how that has Salt Lake City ends up being like the online porn capital of the country?
All the most oppressive whatever is always the most in debauchery. But also it's got to be funny if you're like the professor, like, all right, we're going to watch Taboo 2. Timmy, could you get up and get the lights over there? Okay. All right, that was Taboo 2. Timmy, you want to go? What do you mean you're good? Just get up and just walk your sweatpants over there. Turn that light back on.
Can somebody else do it?
What do you mean you're good? You're in charge of the lights. You turn them on, no problem, before we roll Taboo 2. Now just get up and flick them back on. I want to do this presentation in the dark.
Ask a girl to do it.
Why are you doing push-ups? Just get up there. Then you just need some light in this room.
Baseball.
Build a shed.
All right. Let's bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news. You can't make your wife wet.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.
Well, I'm going to be in Indianapolis at Helium Comedy Club coming up May 6th and 7th, and Michael Yo is going to be in Miami, Florida at the Improv May 5th through 7th, and in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Comedy Zone May 12th through the 14th. And for dates, you just go to michaelyo.com, and of course the stand-up special. Very digestible, very fast, and very funny. Michael
Thank
Yo.
you so much. I appreciate
never thought.
it.
Yeah, really good. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So, until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Michael Yo and Gina Grad and Ball Bryan saying mahalo.
There's times where you don't need masks. Like the only reason I bring a mask on a plane, even though you don't have to wear one, is I know sometimes somebody's sick. Sick's next to me and they're just sneezing and hacking. I don't want to be around that, so I'll put a mask on. But I've done that before COVID. You know, if they're hacking it up.
That's the Asian side of you.
It is.
That's
totally.
Not the black side
that's the
of you.
core. Oh, I need masks. Of course.
That's your mom.